Hey everybody, this is Coach Jay, and today I want to talk to you about ratio diagrams. So we have our example here, and it says Marley drew 3 stars, 6 circles, and 12 squares in art class today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can represent this sentence with a ratio diagram. And then we're going to use the diagram to answer our question, okay? So we're going to draw exactly what Marley drew. She drew 3 stars, 1, 2, 3. 6 circles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 12 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So here we got 3 stars, 6 circles, and 12 squares. But we've drawn them in such a way that it's going to be easy to answer our question. So our question is, what is the ratio of circles to stars? So we have circles first. So that number has to go first. Okay? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 circles. Then you put your colon. And then 1, 2, 3 stars. All right. So with this example, we're going to use the same problem of Marley's art class to show you that ratios can sometimes be written with not only 2 numbers, but 3 numbers. And we have to pay close attention to the wording as well, and it's just as important to pay attention with the wording with 3 numbers as it is for 2, probably more important. So Marley drew 3 stars, 6 circles, and 12 squares in art class today. What is the ratio of stars to circles to squares? So what I like to do above the question itself, where it asks for stars, I like to go ahead and put that number, how many stars there were. So above stars, I'm going to put 3. Above circles, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then squares, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So stars to circles to squares, that answer is going to look like this right here. 3 to 6 to 12. And that would be the answer to that question, okay? Ratio diagrams can also be used to show equivalency, okay? So this question here says, for every star that was drawn, how many circles were drawn, okay? So the key right here is every, okay? For every star. Every star is 1 star. So for every 1 star, how many circles were drawn? Well, let's look up here at our diagram. There's 1 star right here. How many circles were drawn from this 1 star? The answer is 2. Okay? So let's use the same question. For every star that was drawn, how many squares were drawn? So we got our 1 star, and then underneath this 1 star, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. So there's 4 squares for every 1 star that was drawn. Okay? So now what we're going to do is use this same example of Marley in art class to show proportionality. And you can think of proportionality as like making Kool-Aid, okay? So whenever I make Kool-Aid, you have to use 1 Kool-Aid packet for every gallon of water, okay? But if I mix 1 Kool-Aid packet with 2 gallons of water, I have more water and less Kool-Aid. That means it's yucky, okay? If I use 2 Kool-Aid packets for 1 gallon of water, I have more Kool-Aid and it's very sugary and also very yucky. Unless you like sugar, and then it's really good. But to maintain proportionality, if I want to make 2 gallons of Kool-Aid, I need 2 gallons of water and 2 Kool-Aid packets. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our ratio diagram and Marley's art class example to show you how you maintain proportional relationships with the diagram, okay? So our question says, if Marley were to draw 1 more star, how many more circles would she have to draw to maintain proportionality? So if I were to come over here and draw 1 more star, how many more circles would I have to draw? So let's look over here. This star has 2 circles. This star has 2 circles. This star has 2 circles. So if I draw another star, I would have to have 2 more circles. So the answer to the question, if Marley were to draw 1 more star, how many circles would she have to draw to maintain proportionality? The answer is 2. But what if I were to change circles to squares? Well, we're going to look back at our ratio diagram. For every 1 star that Marley drew in art class, she drew 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. So, and we'll check the others to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so for every star that she drew 4 squares. So we would continue that right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer to this question, if Marley were to draw one more star, how many squares would she have drawn to maintain proportionality? The answer to this question is 4. And that's how you can use ratio diagrams to check for proportionality and even ratio equivalency.